They were the faces of Sunday night television icons of a simpler era. But behind the charming village facade of heartbeat life took some truly unexpected turns for the cast. From Hollywood fame to tragic departures, you won't believe how much the residents of Ashfordley have aged. Brace yourselves, because some of these then and now comparisons are absolutely unrecognizable. Who stayed in the spotlight and who vanished forever from the public eye. Niamh Cusack as Dr. Kate Rowan. Born on October 20th, 1959 in Dublin, Ireland, into a renowned acting dynasty, she brought a sense of grounded intelligence and warmth to the Yorkshire moors. At the age of 32, Cusack's portrayal of Dr. Kate Rowan became the moral center of the smash hit Heartbeat. As the local GP and wife of the village constable, she offered a portrayal of a modern professional woman navigating the traditional landscape of the 1960s. Her chemistry with co-star Nick Berry drove the show to massive ratings, regularly attracting over 14 million viewers, and her character became a beloved cultural figure whose eventual exit remains one of the most tear-jerking moments in British television history. While Dr. Kate Rowan was defined by her calm demeanor and reliable, wholesome nature, Niamh Cusack possessed a fiery theatrical spirit and a desire for complex, gritty roles that clashed with the nation's sweetheart image the show projected. This contrast created a professional dilemma. She found the relentless schedule of a serial drama restrictive and feared the industry trap of being permanently typecast as the sensible wife. Her decision to leave the show at the height of its popularity was a significant gamble, leading to a period where she had to fight hard to shed the public's perception of her as Dr. Rowan. She faced the daunting task of proving her range in an industry that often struggled to see past her most famous television incarnation. Niamh Cusack successfully broke away from the shadow of Aidensfield, building a prestigious career on the stage with the Royal Shakespeare Company and the National Theatre, alongside diverse television roles in The Tower and Death in Paradise. She maintained a grounded private life, married to actor Finbar Lynch, with whom she has a son, actor Callum Lynch. As of 2026, at the age of 66, she is an acclaimed matriarch of the acting community, continuing to perform in high-profile theater productions and television dramas, having fully transcended her early fame to establish a legacy defined by versatility and longevity. Derek Fowlds as Sergeant Oscar Blaketon. Born on September 2, 1937 in Balham, London, the versatile actor had already enjoyed success in political satire and children's television before donning the police uniform. At the age of 54, Fowlds took on the role of the stern by-the-book Sergeant Oscar Blaketon, instantly becoming the anchor of the nostalgic drama. His portrayal of the gruff but ultimately protective officer, and later the pub landlord, was central to the show's massive success, which drew audiences of over 14 million at its peak. For 18 years, his presence provided the series with its authoritative backbone, making Blaketon one of the most recognizable law enforcement figures on British television. In reality, Derek Fowlds was remarkably different from the curmudgeonly and rigid character he played for nearly 2 decades. Friends and co-stars described him as a gentle, witty, and incredibly kind man possessing a warmth that stood in stark contrast to Blaketon's famously short fuse. While he enjoyed the role, the production was not without its hardships. The cast endured grueling filming schedules in the freezing temperatures of the North York moors for years. Furthermore, the show's conclusion was a source of professional heartbreak. Despite consistently high ratings, the series was axed in 2010 due to advertising revenue issues. Fowlds publicly expressed his sadness over the decision, noting that the cast felt the show had been prematurely cut short, leaving a void after such a long tenure. Derek Fowlds remained active in the industry following the conclusion of the series, publishing his autobiography, A Part Worth Playing, in 2015, which detailed his diverse career from The Basil Brush Show to Yes, Minister. He largely retired from on-screen acting in his final years, but remained a beloved figure at fan conventions and cast reunions. Derek Fowlds passed away at the Royal United Hospital in Bath on January 17, 2020, at the age of 82 due to heart failure complicated by sepsis. His death triggered a wave of tributes from across the entertainment spectrum, with colleagues highlighting that he was revered not just for his acting range, but for being a true gentleman of the industry. Benedict Cumberbatch as Toby Fisher. Born on July 19, 1976, the London native began his professional career in theatre before transitioning to screen roles that would eventually define a generation. At the age of 23, Cumberbatch's portrayal of Charles and later Toby Fisher in the beloved police drama Heartbeat marked his entry into the landscape of British television. While these were guest appearances rather than starring roles, his performance brought a distinct intensity and aristocratic charm to the 1960s set procedural, serving as an early showcase of the magnetic screen presence that would later fuel his rise to global superstardom. Despite the often aloof, upper-class, or slightly villainous nature of the characters he was frequently assigned early on, Benedict Cumberbatch is known in reality for his self-deprecating humor, deep empathy, and charitable work, a stark contrast to the cold intellectuals he famously portrays. This disconnect often presented a professional hurdle. For nearly a decade following his debut, he struggled against being typecast solely as the posh oddball, or the villain fighting to prove his versatility beyond his unique appearance and background. He faced the grind of a working actor balancing radio plays and theater gigs while facing the uncertainty of an industry that did not immediately embrace him as a leading man. Benedict Cumberbatch persevered to become one of the most respected and decorated actors in the world, earning Academy Award nominations and anchoring the massive Marvel Cinematic Universe as Doctor Strange. As of 2026, at the age of 49, he is a Hollywood veteran, continuing to challenge himself with diverse roles in both independent cinema and blockbuster franchises. He resides in the United Kingdom with his wife Sophie Hunter and their children, having successfully navigated the transition from a day player in nostalgic TV dramas to a cultural icon with a lasting legacy. Bill Maynard as Claude Jeremiah Greengrass. Born on October 8, 1928, in Farnham, Surrey, the veteran entertainer brought the scruffy, lovable rogue Claude Jeremiah Greengrass to life in the hit police drama Heartbeat. At the age of 63, Maynard's portrayal of the cheeky poacher and schemer became the show's comedic backbone, providing a perfect foil to the serious police work of the main cast. For nearly a decade, his battered old truck, his loyal lurcher Alfred, and his endless, often questionable money-making schemes defined a character that became synonymous with the charm of the 1960s Yorkshire setting, cementing him as a British television icon. While Greengrass was famous for his unkempt appearance and distinct aversion to honest labor, Bill Maynard was a meticulously disciplined professional with a diverse background in stand-up comedy, singing, and dramatic acting. This contrast was significant. The actor was a dedicated and hard-working performer who took his craft seriously, quite unlike the lazy character he played. His tenure on the show was eventually compromised by significant health struggles rather than professional rejection. He suffered a series of strokes that severely impaired his mobility, eventually leading to his forced departure from Heartbeat in 2000 because the production could no longer insure him for location shooting on the rugged moors. Bill Maynard managed to continue working despite his physical limitations, notably reprising his role as Greengrass in the spin-off series The Wheel, where the scripts were adapted to accommodate his use of a wheelchair. He remained a resilient figure in the entertainment industry, releasing a version of What a Wonderful World later in life, and maintaining a connection with his fan base. Bill Maynard passed away in a hospital in Leicestershire on March 30, 2018, at the age of 89, shortly after falling from his mobility scooter and breaking his hip. His death drew tributes from across the industry, celebrating a career that spanned more than 6 decades and a character that remains beloved in reruns around the world. William Symonds, as PC Alf Ventris. Born on November 17, 1940 in Swansea, Wales, the actor began his career as a child performer before securing his place in television history. At the age of 51, Symonds donned the uniform of PC Alf Ventris, the station's longest-serving officer, known for his encyclopedic knowledge of local villains, his fondness for hard-boiled eggs, and his constant chain-smoking. As the only character to appear in all 18 series of the show, his portrayal of the cynical yet reliable old guard constable became the backbone of the series, anchoring the show's nostalgic appeal for nearly 2 decades. In stark contrast to his character's unhealthy lifestyle, William Symonds was a non-smoker who had to endure smoking herbal cigarettes for scenes to maintain Alf's signature habit, a physical requirement he found unpleasant. While he was a gentle and private man off-screen, his professional life was heavily impacted by the abrupt cancellation of Heartbeat in 2010. The decision to axe the show despite strong ratings was a shock to the cast, and after 18 years in a single role, Symonds found himself effectively typecast. The sudden end to such a long tenure made it difficult to transition into new roles, and he largely stepped away from the screen following the show's conclusion. William Symonds lived out his remaining years in London, staying out of the public eye but remaining a patron for the charity Changing Faces, a cause close to his heart due to his own experiences with severe acne as a young man. He did not return to major television work, leaving Alf Ventris as his enduring legacy. Symonds passed away in London on June 21, 2019, at the age of 78. His death was mourned by fans and former co-stars alike, who paid tribute to his loyalty and kindness, celebrating him as the very soul of the beloved police drama. Jason Durr as PC Mike Bradley. Born on December 2, 1967 in Singapore, the British actor joined the cast of the nostalgic police drama Heartbeat during its 7th series to fill a massive void left by the original lead. At the age of 29, Durr took on the daunting task of winning over a loyal audience as PC Mike Bradley, a character defined by a more impulsive, action-oriented, and abrasive edge compared to his predecessor. His portrayal successfully revitalized the series, helping it maintain its massive viewership ratings for 6 years and cementing his status as a household name in the UK as a central figure of Sunday night television. While PC Bradley was often depicted as a dashing ladies' man with a turbulent romantic life, Jason Durr's real personality was far more grounded, private, and centered on his family. His decision to leave the hit show in 2003 was driven by a fear of being permanently typecast as a 1960s police officer, a common trap for actors in long-running procedurals. Post-Heartbeat, Durr faced the professional uncertainty that comes with leaving a secure primetime gig. He traded steady television work for the rigors of the theater circuit and sporadic guest roles in mysteries like Inspector Lewis and Midsummer Murders. It took over a decade of grinding through various character roles before he secured another long-term position that allowed him to shed the police uniform image completely. Jason Durr eventually achieved a second wave of major television success, starring as the socially awkward nurse David Hyde in the medical drama Casualty, from 2016 until 2023. Following his departure from the medical series, he pivoted back to the stage, touring the UK in major productions, including the role of Colonel Mustard in Cluedo 2. He remains happily married to TV presenter Kate Charman, with whom he has 3 children. As of 2026, at the age of 58, he is an established veteran of British television and theatre, continuing to diversify his portfolio while enjoying a stable life in the countryside, having successfully navigated the transition from heartthrob-led to versatile character actor. Born on January 25, 1965, in Oldham, Lancashire, the British actor joined the original cast of the hit period drama Heartbeat at its inception. At the age of 27, Jordan's portrayal of the good-natured and loyal PC Phil Bellamy became a staple of Sunday night television, endearing him to millions of viewers. For 15 years, his character's professional dedication and roller-coaster romance with barmaid Gina Ward provided the show with its emotional core, cementing Bellamy as one of the most beloved police officers in British TV history. While Phil Bellamy was the picture of a calm and law-abiding constable, Mark Jordan's real-life journey faced significant legal and professional turbulence that threatened his livelihood. Although generally regarded as a warm individual, like his character Jordan endured a highly publicized ordeal when he was accused of assaulting a pensioner in 2018. This legal battle resulted in him being written out of his subsequent role in the soap Emmerdale, leaving him unemployed and facing financial strain due to mounting legal fees. The stress of the year-long ordeal, where he faced the possibility of prison before a jury eventually acquitted him of all charges, stood in stark contrast to the peaceful, idyllic life of the village copper he once played. Mark Jordan has since rebuilt his life and career, focusing heavily on his family and advocacy work. As of 2026, at the age of 61, he is active in the entertainment industry, having returned to directing and stage performance following his acquittal. His personal life is defined by his relationship with fellow Emmerdale star Laura Norton, with whom he shares 2 children. In recent years, the couple has become vocal campaigners for Usher syndrome awareness after both of their young children were diagnosed with the rare genetic condition, channeling their platform into raising funds and support for families facing similar medical challenges. Nikki Sanderson as Dawn Bellamy. Born on March 28, 1984 in Blackpool, Lancashire, the English actress was already a familiar face to British audiences before stepping into the 1960s period drama. At the age of 24, Sanderson's portrayal of Dawn Bellamy, the spirited and glamorous niece of Oscar Blaketon, injected a fresh dose of youthful energy into the Aidensfield arms. As the new barmaid, her character became a cultural highlight of the show's later years, offering a vibrant contrast to the rural setting with her modern fashion sense and romantic storylines, effectively bridging the gap between classic nostalgia and younger viewership. While Dawn Bellamy was often depicted as flighty, flirtatious, and happy-go-lucky, Nikki Sanderson is known for being intensely disciplined and professionally driven, contributing to one of the most surreal and celebrated endings in cinematic history. Her tenure on the show was marked by a significant professional blow. Despite the program's long-standing success, Heartbeat was cancelled in 2010, a decision that shocked the cast and ended her role prematurely. Additionally, Sanderson has had to navigate the persistent struggle of the soap star stigma, working twice as hard to prove her versatility and secure respect within the industry after leaving high-profile roles. Nikki Sanderson has successfully maintained a robust career in television, transitioning from the 60s era back to contemporary drama with ease. She found long-term stability and critical acclaim playing the complex role of Maxine Miniver on the Channel 4 soap Hollyoaks, where she has tackled harrowing storylines regarding domestic abuse and Munchausen syndrome. As of 2026, at the age of 42, she remains a prominent figure in British entertainment and a vocal campaigner for privacy rights, having taken a significant public stand against tabloid press intrusion and phone hacking. Trisha Penrose as Gina Ward. Born on April 9, 1970 in Kirkby, Lancashire, she joined the cast of the hit police drama Heartbeat shortly after its inception, making her first appearance in the second series. At the age of 23, Penrose stepped into the role of Gina Ward, the glamorous and bubbly barmaid of the Aidensfield Arms. Her portrayal became iconic, anchoring the show with her colorful 1960s fashion and her heartfelt, often tumultuous romance with PC Phil Bellamy. Over the course of 18 years, she became one of the longest-serving cast members, transforming Gina into a beloved cultural figure who defined the warmth and community spirit of the fictional village. While Penrose shared the gregarious and outgoing nature of her on-screen persona, the end of the series presented significant professional challenges. Following nearly 2 decades in a single role, she faced the difficult reality of typecasting, with casting directors struggling to see her as anyone other than the Yorkshire landlady. The cancellation of Heartbeat in 2010 was also a source of distress, leaving the cast in a state of shock and suddenly unemployed. This period required Penrose to reinvent her career path, moving away from scripted drama as roles became scarcer. In the years that followed, she pivoted toward reality television and singing, appearing on Celebrity Big Brother in 2013 and pursuing work as a vocalist. Her personal life also underwent significant transitions, including the end of her 18-year marriage to TV presenter Mark Simpkin in 2021. As of 2026, at the age of 55, Trisha Penrose has largely retired from mainstream acting but remains active in the entertainment industry as a radio presenter and event host. She currently works in radio broadcasting and continues to perform professionally as a singer, having successfully carved out a new niche for herself beyond the moors of North Yorkshire. Peter Benson as Bernie Scripps. Born on June 13, 1943, in Wallasey, Cheshire, the talented character actor joined the cast of the beloved police drama Heartbeat during its 5th series. At the age of 52, Benson's portrayal of Bernie Scripps, the village's garage proprietor, became an integral part of the show's comedic backbone. For 15 years, his impeccable timing and often reluctant participation in the schemes of characters like Claude Greengrass established him as a fan favorite, providing the essential light relief that balanced the show's police procedural elements. While Bernie Scripps was known for his pessimistic outlook, greasy overalls, and constant worrying, Peter Benson was a man of great artistic range, originally trained as a dancer and singer, with a bright and engaging personality. This contrast highlighted his acting ability as he suppressed his natural charisma to play the dour mechanic. Professionally, he faced the harsh realities of television economics when Heartbeat was controversially axed in 2010 after 18 seasons to save money. The cancellation was abrupt and devastating for the cast, stripping Benson of the steady work he had enjoyed for a decade and a half, and forcing him back into the competitive audition circuit during his late 60s. Peter Benson continued to act sporadically following the conclusion of the series, appearing in shows like Casualty, though he maintained a relatively low profile. He remained a cherished figure among his former co-stars, who often cited his kindness and diverse talents. Benson passed away on September 6, 2018, at the age of 75 following a short illness. His death was met with a wave of tributes from the Heartbeat alumni and fans alike, remembering him as a gentle and highly skilled performer who created one of British television's most enduringly funny supporting characters. Born in 1973 in Bucklow, Cheshire, England, the classically trained actress first made her mark on the nostalgic police drama Heartbeat in a guest role before joining the main cast. At the age of 33, Wille's portrayal of Detective Sergeant Rachel Dawson introduced a modern, authoritative female presence to the show's 1960s setting. As one of the few high-ranking women in the series, her character became a cultural standout for her no-nonsense professionalism and capability in a male-dominated environment. For the show's final 4 years, her chemistry with the ensemble and her grounded performance revitalized the long-running series, making her a beloved figure among its dedicated fan base. In contrast to the stern and often rigid detective she played, Clare Wille is known in the industry for her versatility and comedic timing, later shining in the dry satire of the BBC mockumentary W1A and the sitcom Lovesick. This shift highlighted a professional struggle common to actors in long-running period dramas, breaking free from the cozy crime mold. When Heartbeat was cancelled in 2010, Wille faced the daunting challenge of transitioning from a stable, high-profile regular role back into the competitive audition circuit. She had to work hard to avoid being typecast solely as a period actress, navigating a landscape where the sudden end of a major show often leaves talent fighting to redefine their public image. Clare Wille has successfully sustained a diverse career in television and voice acting, though she remains an intensely private individual regarding her life off-screen. As of 2026, at the age of 53, she is an active and respected figure in the British entertainment industry. She has secured recurring roles in major soaps like Coronation Street and Doctors, while simultaneously carving out a prolific niche in the audio world. She is the narrator for the popular Posey Parker mystery audiobooks, and in a humorous departure from her dramatic roots, provides the voice for the Nest Protect smoke and carbon monoxide alarm, ensuring her voice remains a household staple in a very literal sense. Gwen Taylor as Peggy Armstrong. Born on February 19, 1939, in Derby, England, the accomplished actress was already a well-established face on British television before venturing into the Yorkshire moors. At the age of 62, Taylor took on the role of Peggy Armstrong, the eccentric and scheming aunt of David Stockwell, joining the cast of Heartbeat well into its run. Her portrayal of the lovable rogue donning a trademark woolly hat and driving an unreliable old truck became an instant comedic highlight, breathing new life into the series. She turned what could have been a minor supporting part into a cultural favorite, providing a humorous yet warm counterpoint to the show's police procedural drama. Despite Peggy's scruffy appearance, erratic driving, and penchant for dodgy business deals, Gwen Taylor is known in reality for her elegance, articulation, and theatrical background. This contrast required a total physical transformation, forcing Taylor to suppress her natural glamour to embody the common and unkempt character. Her time in the spotlight was not without private hardship. During the peak of her television career, she quietly battled breast cancer, a struggle she kept largely private to maintain her professional commitments. Furthermore, joining a long-running ensemble cast late in the game presented the difficult professional challenge of winning over a loyal fan base resistant to change, a feat she managed despite the industry's recurring scarcity of substantial roles for older actresses. Gwen Taylor remained a tireless force in the entertainment industry long after leaving Aidensfield, transitioning seamlessly into major roles in top-tier soap operas. She played the villainous Anne Foster in Coronation Street, and later the comedic Violet Highway in EastEnders, proving her range remained undiminished. As of 2026, at the age of 86, she is regarded as an acting royalty in the UK, occasionally appearing in retrospective specials and continuing to lend her voice to cancer awareness charities celebrating a career that has spanned over 5 decades. Geoffrey Hughes as Vernon Scripps. Born on February 2, 1944 in Wallasey, Cheshire, the actor was already a well-established face on British television before joining the cast of the nostalgic police drama Heartbeat. At the age of 56, Hughes took on the role of Vernon Scripps, replacing the show's previous comic relief character with his own unique brand of charm. As the lovable rogue and hapless entrepreneur, his portrayal became a cultural favorite, engaging audiences with endless get-rich-quick schemes that invariably went wrong. His performance provided the essential warmth and humor that balanced the show's dramatic elements, cementing Vernon as one of the series' most memorable figures during the early 2000s. Despite playing characters known for being loud, slobbish, or shifty, such as Vernon Scripps, or his earlier iconic role as Onslow in Keeping Up Appearances, Geoffrey Hughes was a man of stark contrast to his on-screen personas. In reality, he was a quiet intellectual gentleman with a deep passion for sailing cricket and natural history, eventually moving to the Isle of Wight to enjoy a peaceful rural existence. Professionally, he faced the difficulty of being heavily typecast as the lovable slob, a niche that, while profitable, often obscured his versatility as an actor. His time as Vernon was ultimately cut short, not by a lack of popularity, but by a difficult health diagnosis that forced him to leave the show to focus on treatment, a sudden exit that saddened his loyal fan base. Geoffrey Hughes spent his final years largely out of the public eye, focusing on his recovery and his personal interests in wood-turning and music. He was appointed a deputy lieutenant of the Isle of Wight in 2009, a testament to his standing in the community. Although he briefly returned to acting after initially responding well to treatment, the cancer returned. Geoffrey Hughes passed away on July 27, 2012, at the age of 68, following a long battle with prostate cancer. His death was met with deep sorrow across the industry, with colleagues and fans alike paying tribute to a kind-hearted man who had been a staple of British living rooms for over 3 decades. Rupert Vansittart as Lord Ashfordley. Born on February 10, 1958 in Cranleigh, Surrey, the English actor became a fixture of British Sunday night television when he stepped into the boots of the local aristocrat in the 60s-era police drama. At the age of 34, Vansittart's portrayal of Lord Ashfordley provided the series with its essential touch of landed gentry, perfectly capturing the often bumbling, financially stretched, but ultimately well-meaning peer. Over the course of the show's massive 18-year run, his character became a cultural staple, representing the fading grandeur of the British upper class against the changing social tides of the 1960s. While Lord Ashfordley was defined by his inherited title and sprawling estate, Rupert Vansittart faced the professional double-edged sword of his own distinct appearance and voice. He has frequently acknowledged the struggle of being perpetually typecast as the posh bloke, a restriction that, while providing steady work, often pigeonholed him into playing variations of the same upper-crust archetype. Unlike the entitled and sometimes pompous character he played, Vansittart is a pragmatic working actor who had to navigate the industry's tendency to judge based on class perception, occasionally finding it difficult to break out of the toff mold to showcase his wider dramatic and comedic range. Rupert Vansittart successfully transitioned from the Yorkshire moors to major international productions, embracing his niche to secure roles in some of the world's biggest franchises. In the years following Heartbeat, he gained a new global fan base, portraying Lord Yon Royce in the massive hit Game of Thrones, and appeared in acclaimed series such as The Crown, Gentleman Jack, and Andor. As of 2026, at the age of 68, he remains an active and highly respected figure in the British acting community, continuing to lend his commanding screen presence to both television and film while maintaining a private life away from the public eye. Watching the then and now of the Heartbeat family feels like flipping through a cherished photo album. We've grown up alongside these talented actors, sharing in their stories and the simple charms of rural Yorkshire life. Their dedication to these roles created a timeless masterpiece that transcends generations. Which character do you miss the most on your screen? Tell us your favorite Heartbeat memory in the comments and subscribe to join our community of nostalgia lovers.